So, Charlamagne Tha God, he's a controversial figure. He's the Breakfast Club host with iHeartRadio. That's his boss, and he interviews celebrities on the Breakfast Club. Now, why do you think he does that? Why do you think he interviews celebrities on fucking iHeartRadio? Not iHeartRadio. iHeart is fucking his boss. But when you look into this, it's funny how he calls himself Charlamagne Tha God. It's as if he's thinking that he's some higher spiritual power. Very cynical and arrogant. But that's cool. I mean, you can't really take someone that calls himself the God seriously. So let's see his early life. Whatever, he was born. Oh, a Jehovah's Witness turns Muslim, and his wife an English teacher and Jehovah's Witness. Cool. He grew up in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, where as a teenager he was arrested twice for possession of marijuana and cocaine with intent to distribute. So he was a drug dealer, and he was arrested. So he was arrested a third time after being near a non-fatal shooting. His father refused to pay his bail money. After 41 days in jail, McKelvey asked his mother to pay for bail, at which point his father decided to give him another chance. How old was he when he... Okay, cool. So he turned his life around and he decided to start attending night school, and he graduated from high school. Cool. That's commendable. Respect. But the problem is this part. Cool, he was a drug dealer. That's a bad thing in of itself, because you're selling poison to your own community. So that already shows that you have a lower level of morals. Why don't you just get a job at McDonald's? I don't care if it's paying low wages. It's your fault for not putting the time in and getting the degree and the education to where you want to do. You can do what you want to do instead of doing what you have to do. But he was accused of sexual assault after a party. He denied having sexual relations with the accuser and cooperated with authorities. Cool. Providing DNA evidence, which failed to show any evidence that he had sex with the victim. Cool, I need to read this. The sexual assault charges were dropped, and he later pleaded guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor, for which he received 3 years probation. So he settled. I mean, I guess technically they did prove it, providing DNA evidence which failed to show any evidence that he had sex with the victim. So no, he's not telling the full story. He's not telling the full story. Because why did he plead guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor? If you didn't do it, then why would you plead guilty? That doesn't make sense. That means you were guilty because you pled guilty. You didn't even try to fight the charge. You didn't even try to go to court to fight the charge. You just pled guilty. This is facts, right? It isn't the only alleged incident he's had to answer for this. She was 15 and he pled guilty. So he's a rapist? So Charlamagne's a rapist. I mean, that's... Well, where'd it go? That's crazy. I can't even read this until I pay. Come on, man. I ain't trying to read all this. I'm not trying to pay for it, actually. That's a fact. I'm not trying to pay for it, so it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, he's not a good person. I think that's the message that you can try and kind of, decipher from this. He's not a good person. But a lot of people are not good people. What's his name? Kwame Brown? Let's look at his dirt. I mean, he's probably not going to put the dirt on Wikipedia, but cool. So let's see his personal life. Let's see the problems. He was arrested and charged with driving under intoxication near his hometown of Brunswick. So he had a DUI. He was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct and interference with a law enforcement officer after an incident in which the driver of a car in which he was a passenger was arrested for driving drunk with a suspended license. So he was charged with disorderly conduct, interference with a law enforcement officer. So the driver of what? In which the driver of the car in which he was. Oh, okay. So the driver of the car that he was in, the passenger, was arrested for driving drunk. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. I don't know what else to say. Hometown girlfriend Jocelyn Vaughn moved into blah blah. Together they blah 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 blah. Sued for custody of the children. Okay, cool. He was charged with felony possession of edible marijuana products and misdemeanor possession of less than 1 ounce of marijuana. How much is an ounce? An ounce. It's 28 grams of marijuana. Ooh, that's a lot. So he's not a saint either. You know, he got arrested for DUIs, he got arrested for disorderly conduct and stuff like that. So he's not perfect. No one's perfect, but he's definitely not perfect. Charlamagne, you're a rapist. You're a convicted, delinquency of a minor. Okay, cool. That's not cool, but let's see what that is. Let's see what the cases are for this. Let's see what the okay. Which county was he in when this happened? Where did it happen? Where did this happen? Where did this happen? Well, let's assume it happened. I don't know where it happened, dude. Like, how am I supposed to know where this happened? But let's look at delinquency of a minor laws, U.S. Just in general. Okay, contributing to the delinquency of minors, statutes aim to insulate minor children from the criminal influences of adults. Additionally, these statutes often include any act that contributes to a minor becoming dependent, neglected, or otherwise in need of state-provided service. What? That's contributing. Is a crime that can be charged when a person acts or fails to act in a way that causes a minor to engage in illegal or delinquent behavior, to become a habitual truant, or to become a dependent of the juvenile court system. So what does that mean? The sexual assault charges were dropped. Okay, so they were dropped. Wait. That doesn't. So the person that accused Charlamagne dropped the charges. Mighty fishy here. He pleaded guilty to contributing to delinquency of a minor. So he's guilty of something. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Smoke. Let's see what he's up to, actually. Charlamagne Tha God. Rape? Let's see. Oh! Renewed accusations of underage rape. Funk Flex. Okay, let's check it out. Funk Flex decided to play an audio clip over the weekend of a mother accusing Charlamagne Tha God of drugging and raping her teenage daughter, Jessica Reed, in 2001. The woman sounded frustrated Charlamagne was getting away with it. Par for the course, the Shade Room shared the recording with their 23 million Instagram followers. Okay. Police report reveals Charlamagne's DNA was not found on an alleged rape victim from recent recordings played by Funk Flex. So he's not guilty of rape. Because his DNA was not found on the alleged rape victim from recent recordings. So that's a positive thing. Even though, I mean, you shouldn't really be getting caught up in all this stuff. It's negative publicity, man. Like, even if you didn't do it, that's still a stain on your name. He never had any sexual relations or any physical contact with the accuser and even provided DNA to prove it. At the time of these claims, Charlamagne cooperated fully with authorities, and after the investigation, this charge against him was dropped. that may be factual, but he still pleaded guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So he's not a good person. I think that's something that you can definitely say without a shadow of a doubt. So yeah, I mean he's an alleged rapist, which is is what it is. I'm surprised he's in a position of where he's able to co-host a syndicated broadcast such as the Breakfast Club. So